Hey guys, welcome back. This is the second time I made this video because of resolution problems. So yeah, before we go into this book, I want to ask you to go online and buy this book. I don't care which one, buy the floppies, buy the trade paperback or this oversized hardcover that I bought with some extras in it. This is Aliens Dead Orbit by James Stokoe, and this is the wraparound thingy. This is great. This is great stuff. I told you many times that I just buy comics just to, try something new, think outside the box, expand my horizon when it comes to art and comics. I never heard of James Stokoe, but there is Von Klaus, who is doing also Shinobi Sasquatch on Indiegogo. I watched a video of him years ago, and I watched the video. I said, I need this. So I bought this, and it's freaking fantastic. James Stokoe, his art is phenomenal. It's amazing. There's a shitload of detail, and I'm going to show you that. So before we go in, I have to drink a little bit. So, smearing my throat. Yeah, let's dive in. So we go to okay, we go to the Weyutani vessel, and then we see this guy. This guy is well, we call him Wazi. Why? Because he has a very long name, and even the crew members call him Wazi. Wazi is the chief engineer, and he's staring here, looking at here. Outside the screen, and then something happens. There's a breach. He gets into his suit, and then he goes outside on the hull of the ship. And from the start, you can see there's a lot of detail. This part is important because there's something in here that he needs in this. Well, it's not a briefcase, but it's a, how do you call it? A package? Let's call it a package. I'm not sure what the right word is. A box. Let's call it a box, or a briefcase, whatever. And we skip to the past. And that happens a lot. It skips to the past and then to the present. And there's a reason for that. Because Wazi remembers what happened. So they pick up a stress signal from an unknown vessel. And it seems that these people, that they are not responding, and they are possibly into the cryotubes. And well, because in alien films, these are deep space exploration vessels, so all of them go into the into cryosleep, because otherwise it's impossible to survive that long and before they reach the assigned destination. So they go on board, but there's some people hesitating, and because they think, hey, listen, it could be pirates, right? And you know what happens last time. I'm not sure it's a good idea. It could be raiders. And the captain says, you know what, let's go anyway and see what happens. And speaking of detail, look at that, it's great stuff. So they go into this ship to the vessel, and they notice that it's a mess. It's broken. It's barely functioning at all. It's just a pile of junk floating in space. And there's some signs that things are happening there, but the crew doesn't know that. Well, for the seasoned Alien fans know this, if we look up inspecting a little bit closer, let's do that. See, that is not really normal damage. Wonder what it could be. So there's three people in the chambers from the 8, and they made a decision to open it up because they want to know what's happened on board. The doctor says, or one of the people says, well, hey, listen, I'm chief security. Maybe it's not such a good idea. And then the captain says, open it up because I don't want to drag all these things to our ship. And so they are doing that, but they're making a mistake. So what happens? They push the button, and then the chambers, the parts are flooding with coolant, and something is ruptured. So everything is flooded. The people inside are getting cooked. They need to get out, and they take action. And we see here these crew members emerging, and it looks freaking awesome. Look at that. All those muscles, all those what's inside, you know, your skin that you don't see on the outside, fortunately. And people are convulsing, they are going into shock. And then we go back to the past. So what happens, we see Wasi going through, you know, the chambers, and then he sees something and he's scared. Because what is he seeing? He sees something, a shape. And then it reveals that it's just a part of the machinery. And he said, wow, the mind's playing tricks on me. Well, what happens then? A coolant, let's say a tube ruptured and there's smoke coming out. And then he flees because he's startled, and he loses his box. So he wants to retrieve the box that lies on the floor, but then out of nowhere, out of the smoke. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to show you, but hey, out of the smoke, here we go, the alien, and look how detailed the smoke is. Look at there's all these lines and then the background. And Wasi flees, and I must compliment James Stokoe of great storytelling, because normally people are, you know, have a lot of dialogue boxes here explaining what's going on and, you know, thought process. That's not happening here. This is great storytelling. We see him, Wasi, you know, pushing himself through the narrow door, busting it against the wall, and with sheer terror on his face, waiting that the alien is busting in. But that's not going to happen. And he sees and hears some dripping sound, and then he sees a body, you know, lying here on the blanket. And then he watches his watch again, and the watch is the theme, basically, that they are going back and forth to the past and to the present. So, okay, skip a few pages. And then we see the other crew members, you know, crazy with pain, and they are getting sedated. But the captain here wants to interrogate them, and then the ship's doctor said, "What, are you crazy? Get out of here. They are barely alive and they don't have lips. Get out of here. They're not, you know, can't say anything." It's okay, says the captain. So he goes away and he approaches Wasi, and he says to Wasi, "Listen, Wasi, we need to go to the ship's logs. You are the chief engineer. Make it happen." So they are going to do that. And then it reveals that there are 8 crew members, and there's a little bit unsure what their mission was. And they want to know what happened to the other crew members. And they get a signal from the sick bay, and, you know, they're rushing there. And then we see that all these people are convulsing again. They are going into shock. They're going crazy. They're seizing up. And of course, like I said, great storytelling. People are in panic. People are in pain. And then it's going to happen. You see the bump, bump, bump of the heart. And then the chest, you know, explodes, or, you know what I mean. And okay, here it goes. What's going to happen? Oh man, look at that. Not only the chest is getting ripped open, we see also the shape of the creature that is inside, and then it burst open, and God, look at this. Look at this. Marvel, eat your heart out, you fuckers. Oh man. It's so great. It's so great. And then not only that, then the other crew member is getting, you know, it's happening to him as well. And he's so in pain that he breaks his own teeth here. It's, wow, it's so gross. So gross. I mean, and then it reveals that there are 2 baby aliens, and they escape. And then we go back into the prison again. So Wasi is, you know, takes his box, straps him around it, and then, can I reveal this? So yeah, there's the ship is breaking down. There's ruptures everywhere, and there's a door opening because we see, well, parts breaking off, and then gravity is going nuts as well, and he's getting hit by cargo, and he is almost sucked out of the airlock. Well, it's not an airlock, out of, you know, the damaged part of the hull. And then he escapes barely with his life. as you can see here. And again, great storytelling. I cannot say it enough. And he loses consciousness because of lack of oxygen. So what happens then? Skipping a few pages. He's waking up and he's getting, he's being strapped by the aliens here. Oh man, I wish I could make it bigger, but I can't because, well, the thing that I have my camera on here, I cannot make it bigger because I've, go more up so that you can see everything. The resolution is not good anymore. So that's why I did a second attempt of making this video. So we go back to the past, and then this happened again with the clock, with the time. Out of nowhere, the captain is getting dragged up through this vent, and again, skipping a little bit, and then we see his face, all this terror. Move it, Park, he's gone. And then they are gonna flee, and then we see the alien is a little bit coming out. Is it a little bit too dark? Wait a minute, maybe I can... Yeah, wait a minute, I'm gonna add some more light. Not too much. I think this is good. Yeah. And then, speaking of great storytelling, there's some dialogue that really was good. He said, came right out of the van and grabbed him. First Rook, now the captain. I dub Hassan even saw it coming. Moss broke both of his fucking arms pulling him through that crate. It just grabbed him. I mean, this part here, that is immersion. And I mean, it's true. I mean, this event, and the alien grabbed him, and it grabbed him with so much force and speed that, yeah, you can break your fucking bones when it happened. But normally it wouldn't be explained like that. So this little small tidbit here, this small dialogue here, makes me think this is just great storytelling. This is immersion. And he's gonna flip. He's flipping. And so they just devised a plan that they said, hey, listen, if we're gonna break off parts of the hull, using explosives, then we can float away. And with that, they mean, well, basically the argument first, because the tension is rising very, and, one of the crew members said, listen, let's go to the other ship, the broken down ship, and then we're going to survive there. I said, oh, well, that's a bad idea. That is a piece of shit. That we wouldn't last 3 months. And they are arguing with themselves. And like I said, there's a lot of tension between the crew members now, and they are in panic mode. Then something happens. They hear a sound, and it seems that one of the surviving member is waking up from the other crew, and he is, he's having a hostage that is probably the doctor, I think. And he said, listen, what did you do? And they explained, well, we didn't know what's going on, and we let you out. And he said, you woke them up? He said, yes, because we don't know what's going on. But so that means that the crew is infected. And that is basically what he's saying. Damn resolution. And as you can see here, Torrenson is attacking him because this person here, or whatever is left of him, of her, it's a her, by the way, doesn't believe him. So he attacks her. Torrenson attacks her. He misses. He stumbles, and he sees, or she sees, her dead crew members, with the chest, broken up. And then she loses it completely, slits open the doctor's throat. Oh my God, look at this. It's like a fountain. And then she escapes. But what happens, she's going to take a shuttle, try to escape, but the umbilical, or how I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, she doesn't, unhook it. And then what happens, he crashes back into the ship, and the ship is exploding. Oh my God, also the sound effect, the lettering, it's great stuff. It's great stuff. And then, okay, I'm going to skip a few pages because I'm telling a little bit too much probably. Wasi is waking up. He breaks out of his prison cage, something like that. And then the aliens are taking off because they hear a sound. and they hear the sound of Torrenson. And Torrenson is you know, drunk because he is terrified. And he calls to them. He said, "Hey, Wazzy, what have you been doing?" I said, "You need to quiet down. They can hear you." And he says, "Can they?" And he's going nuts, and we see the aliens behind him. And then I'm not going to show you what's going to happen, but you can imagine what's going to happen. He's a dead man. And then, again, great visual storytelling. People are panicking. People, you know, try to figure it out what they're going to do. All right, they say, well, we're going to lock ourselves. This is the plan. We're going to use the mining charges that are in the box, in this box, by the way. And then we're going to use it to break parts of the hull. We lock ourselves in life support, blow the struts from the main deck in the whole station that is probably modular. And he said we can ride it like a lifeboat. So that's what they're going to do. But then, again, okay, he's strapping themselves in. And then out of fucking nowhere, these aliens coming in to grab them. And again, you see the terror in his eyes. It's great stuff. And then they try to flee. And then he pushes the button of one of the devices that he just put on the hull. And then one of the alien dies because of the explosion. But not before. Park is getting, you know, dragged, killed. She's a goner. She's dead. She's not going to survive. And then also you see Wazzy here, not want to hear anything. He's you know, terrified, panicked. He doesn't want to hear the screams. He tried to block the sounds, which of course it's not going to happen. Then through the explosion, he's going to be thrown out of the hull. But this is in the present again. So at the beginning, he steps out of the hull. He goes to floating in space, and then out of nowhere, again, the alien comes, rips the hull open, tries to grab Wazzy, and Wazzy is floating. He grabs himself through, yeah, some piece of metal here, a handle, and he pushes the detonator, and the explosion, which is on the deck, breaks parts again from the spaceship. But that's not the end. Of course, as you can know, with aliens, comics and movies, it's never the end. They keep coming. And then he sees that the alien is wounded. Again, great stuff. You see the blood flowing into space. And then he sees, Wazzy, that the blood of the alien is acid. And then this happens. He sees that, open it up, there are, you know, how do you say, containers with oxygen. He opens them up, pulls them out, and then hopes, well, he's so close, he's so in danger. And then, okay, spoiler, this is going to happen. Oh man, it's so great. And basically, I'm not going to show you more because there's an ending that I want you to see for yourself. I'm going to skip it. Yes, skip the rest. And then we're going to go back to the covers. Beautiful looking covers of James Stokoe. Oh man, look at this, man. It's so good. It's so good. So good. Look at this. It's freaking fantastic. Then we have some making of. But the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. So what happened is that James Stokoe, and I'm going to read it to you. Here's a look of my original pitch to Dark Horse for Alien series. It was going to be a more action-oriented story in the vein of the second film before we decided to go with a claustrophobic, horror-driven direction that ended up being Dead Orbit. Now look at this art. This art is done. It's done. And not only that, then we see, oh, what, this is part of the book. Look at this. Look at this crazy stuff. He drew this. He drew this. Look at this. These aliens. This is almost a part of a complete comic. These are pencils, by the way, of course. And it goes on and on. He just drew it. He just, because he says, Pence's original picture, I actually draw most of the scene years and years ago as a personal fan comic. So he did this in his spare time, but ended up redrawing everything for this pitch because I can't stand the sight of old art. Oh my God. Look at this. This is his old art. Oh my God. It's, look at this. Yeah, I'm repeating myself, I know, but I want you to see this. How many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 pages are done. It's done. I want to see this comic. I want to see this comic. Dark Horse, make it happen. So this is the end of the book. It's fantastic. I urge you again to buy this comic. Although you have seen a lot of you know what's going on. By the way, I also have bought the art book of James Stokoe, Grunt, very thick, also hardcover. If you know if you are a fan of this person that that draws this incredible book, yeah, definitely worth it. So yeah, I have nothing more to say. Well, I want to talk about more and more, but I know I can rambling, and this is already 21 minutes, so I have to stop. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Give me a like, please. And yeah, I'll see you next time.